Welcome back to Flying the Kupp. This week we are talking about barbecue. And we're going to be talking about the things in barbecue that mean the most to us. Josh, how much do you like barbecue?
How much does a polar bear weigh? A lot.
So that means, how often do you eat it though?
As much as a polar bear. No, I absolutely love barbecue. I love the food. I love the overall experience. But barbecue food is what summer is all about, and something that I look forward to every year, every summer, every spring. Once the weather gets nice, and that's something that I'll do year round as long as I possibly can. Yeah, I'll be out there in a coat, but you have to do it relatively early then. But I absolutely love everything to go with barbecue. Like I said, I love the food. And I love the experience overall.
Barbecue really is an experience, and it's not just a summer thing. It is a all year around thing. It is whenever you open up that grill, you light it up, and you're ready to have a good time.
And if it's too cold, you get your indoor smokeless grill. It's a cheap plug. There's a million of them, but I have very much enjoyed mine.
All different types of ways to barbecue, and all different types of way to follow Flying the Kupp. So, Josh, how do they follow Flying the Kupp?
They follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Flying the Kupp. They follow us at flyingthekupp.com for our news, updates, videos, links to our podcast, merchandise section coming soon. And you can follow us on YouTube and Spotify. Hit that subscribe button, hit the notification so that you get every new updated episode every single week. And all our other videos, make sure to leave us a 5-star review. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that. We'd love to hear your feedback. I'd love to hear from you, our Cooper Troopers, which I'm taglining on our people, right?
That's not a thing. We're not making
it's
that
a thing. If you like a thing, let us know. But you can check us out on there. If you're looking for us as a name you can't see, it's spelled Kupp.
All right, thank you, Josh Kupperstein.
You're welcome, Michael.
And I am Michael Bennett, and I am taking a stand that propane grilling is the best way of propane grilling. I am siding with Hank Hill and his propane and propane accessories that grilling with propane is not only easier, it is delicious too at every single point. But Josh, I've had a horror story when it comes to charcoal grilling. I almost burnt down this house that we're sitting in right now.
This one where we're sitting in right now?
Yes.
These walls are flammable.
It is made of wood, and it wasn't a good decision to try and grill inside. It was raining out, and I wanted that barbecue burgers and hot dogs, delicious, quick and easy.
When you get that call in for a barbecue, there ain't nothing stopping you.
Nothing at all, but I didn't have a propane barbecue, so I had to buy a bag of charcoal. I had a little bowl charcoal grill, and I just started it up. And it takes too gosh darn long to light that grill. That grill is not easy to get started, and I want my burgers now. And so I tried to rush the process, and for anyone that knows when you're trying to rush the igniting process, a little bit of lighter fluid into it. You get the fire going, it gets a little bit exciting. But I decided to do that on top of a plastic table, halfway in my house, halfway out of my house, and without cleaning off the grill first. So basically I just started a big smoke bonfire on my table, and I now have a plastic ring. So that experience aside, I am now a fully invested propane person. Fully behind it. It's quick, it's easy. Turn on the gas, push the button, ignite the beautiful light, clean it off, and you are ready to have some delicious barbecue. Josh Kupperstein, where do you stand when it comes to the great debate of gas versus charcoal?
I am perfectly fine with the charcoal grill. It does have a nice taste to it, but I'm 100% on board with the propane. As far as ease of use, quality, and all that, especially maintenance. I have used a charcoal grill one time in my life. We'll get into that, but I was in charge of cooking for over 100, 120 people using a massive charcoal grill. And the issue that I had with the charcoal, while it is easy because you need, it's a matter of pouring the charcoal on, lighting it, and pouring it, is you have to always make sure that you don't run out of charcoal. You can run out of propane, I get that. But for an event like that, we had to go make multiple trips to get bags of charcoal to keep filling, and that is a bit of a process to try and to do that. Pour the coals on. It takes a while to get started sometimes, and then the cleanup process is no easy. When you're done and you just want to go eat and relax, you have to wait for those things to cool down, and then you got to properly dispose of them, and that's a whole process as opposed to opening the propane, turning it on, turning the burners on, letting it go. You're done. Boom, boom, boom. Wipe it off, clean it off, and you're done. So the charcoal maintenance-wise, for that alone, gets many negative points. But the ease of propane, it's beauty. When it's, maybe once a year you go get it filled, and it can last a while depending on how much you grill. And it's just the ease of doing it. It cooks really well.
Is there a taste difference for you? Do you taste the difference between charcoal versus the propane?
I don't necessarily notice much of a taste. I would say if there is any positive to the charcoal, I think it maybe gives a little bit of a, especially if you do charcoal. I think pellet grills, I don't know that I've necessarily had on there, but I would imagine with the wood, the taste of the wood and different kind of aromas coming in, that's going to add a nice smokiness to it. So charcoal definitely has a good taste, but I don't find it noticeably different enough to invest in the charcoal over propane.
Yeah,
Now it might be better for a tailgate to do charcoal because you don't have to worry about carrying a 5-gallon propane tank in a 98-degree car and chance of any issues there. Just grab a bag of Kingsford charcoal, bring it down, open it up. Charcoal grills tend to be relatively smaller and more mobile. A little bit easier and safer in that scenario because you can always just get rid of the coals.
Yeah, if you're going for the experience, the charcoal grill, you got that long-term heating. It really becomes the difference between an art versus science with a charcoal and then a propane grill. Because the charcoal grill, you have to manage your coals, which one's hot, which one's cold. You got a different type of temperature. It's almost a special type of feel.
There's definitely a feel and an art for it. It's just that when I'm cooking, like anybody, there's something special about sitting by a grill. When I got my first grill in my house, and that was something special and monumental for me, standing out on my deck, looking out in my backyard, grilling on my own grill. It's therapeutic for a lot of guys, and girls too, but for the most part, it tends to be something that a lot of men, when they get their first grill, it's their calling. It's almost like getting the remote control.
It's a moment, yeah. It's a moment in your life. It signifies it.
And I love sitting there and just relaxing, talking to music, maybe a beer in the hand or just water, whatever, and just flipping. And it's something therapeutic about that. I don't care if I'm cooking for a bunch of people. It's fun to do that. But that being said, I don't like to have the investment of having to check which coals are hot, which aren't, and the whole process when you're done. And when I was grilling on that big charcoal grill, that thing got really hot to the point where I had trouble cooking for too long, where I'd have to back out and just, I probably should have had better. But it was in the summer. It was hot. I was sweating profusely, and I remember just being so unbelievably hot trying to cook and flip those burgers and hot dogs and everything that. I felt that burning sensation for days after that.
I feel the burn on that one. There was a time too where even with the propane grills too, I accidentally left the hood closed while I was turning on the gas and getting it ready before lighting it up. So all the gases just built up. So when I went to open it up to turn it on, I got a big fireball in my face that almost took off my eyebrows, but fortunately enough, they were still on there, still looking pretty fleek there. So the barbecue, I still stick by the propane, even though it almost melted my face off.
Yeah, let us know in the comment section what you prefer. Do you prefer charcoal or propane or a pellet or whatever kind that you would like? Or it could be an indoor smokeless grill too, that works well.
But no matter the type of barbecue and the grill that you do it on, barbecue is always an experience, and there's so many different types of barbecue and types of experience that you could get, from Korean barbecue to the backyard cookout to Southern barbecue, Western barbecue. There's just so many different types of barbecue, but they all bring you closer to friends and family and gather together. Do you have a memorable barbecue, a favorite type of barbecue you like?
I have a few memorable ones, some positive, some negative. The somewhat negative was the experience of using the charcoal grill. Like I said, I was in charge. Somehow I ended up being put in charge of being responsible for the entire planning and execution of a department-wide barbecue for my last job. That had roughly 100, 120 people at least. And I had to worry about getting all the orders and doing all the shopping, doing all the setup, doing all the cooking the entire time for an entire department worth of people. And that was not fun at all, trying to do all that.
What type of food were you cooking up there?
We had the traditional hamburgers, hot dogs, veggie burgers. We try to have a few different options for anybody to eat, not exclude anybody. It was a diverse group with different nationality people, so we want to make sure we were respectful for that, for certain foods and culture. So we had a lot of planning for that. And I have a lot of experience in my life of throwing parties. A lot of times it's a Super Bowl party, aka the Cooper Bowl. So I love the idea of throwing parties and doing that stuff. I put a lot of thought into it. It's almost a year-round process for that. Because I want to make sure that everybody has stuff. So when I was planning for that, thinking about what would people eat and what things they would like. Now the positives of that are things when you get to grill. It could just be for Tara and I. It could be for a few friends coming over, a family. But I love having friends over, firing up the grill, getting some burgers and hot dogs and veggie burgers and turkey burgers and chicken and seafood and I see food and I eat it, and all those things I love to do, which is why eventually I'm going to be having have friends over, and we're going to nickname it the Bar-B-Kupp, because why not? I love puns. Puns are fun. Puns and fun.
That's a good time at the Kupperstein house.
Yeah. So everything about the barbecue. I grew up with a pool and having barbecues every Father's Day, July 4th, and something special getting a bunch of friends and family together to do all the fun activities outside and grab a nice burger and hot dog ribs. And you can't go wrong with a traditional barbecue. Do you have any? What's your memories of barbecuing?
Yeah, Josh.
Besides almost burning your house down.
Well, I have some good memories too, and there's definitely something to say about the good old traditional American barbecue, and those backyard bashes that are just really the pinnacle of a summer experience, are truly amazing. But for me, the type of barbecue that really stands out and is just so delicious is Southern barbecue. When I was down in Tennessee, there's a point when you head down in the United States where barbecue just becomes a way of life, and people get very, very serious about what is the best barbecue and what's really important to them. So in Tennessee, I was in a part where there wasn't a lot of stuff around, but there was definitely a bunch of different barbecue restaurants. But my favorite barbecue restaurant was the Backwater barbecue place that I went to. So sure, you go on the ratings on Google, you're like, I want some barbecue.
And it's like, all right, these 500 places within, okay, but I only want something within a half mile. 500 places.
Well, there's not that many things that close.
I've never been to the South, so.
The 500 places might be 500 miles away. But the top ones were like, we have this one that really stood out, was a 5-star, and the next one was like a 4.3. So we went to the 4.3 because it was only a mile and a half away, and it had nice, easy directions. It was delicious, absolutely, wonderful. But then we were like, we want to try that #1 barbecue spot.
You have to.
Yeah.
5 stars on Google?
It was, and it was legendary.
Like this podcast? 5
People
stars?
were talking about it like it was the thing you had to do. So we're like, absolutely, give us the address. And we plugged in the address to our GPS, and the pin dropped in the middle of the woods. And we're like, what? And they're like, just follow the GPS. We'll get there no matter what. So we go, start driving. We're on the highway. You drive for 20 minutes in any direction. You don't hit anything. But the GPS says, make a left-hand turn. We look at a left-hand turn, and there's no road there. And, the GPS is sometimes taking in people into rivers and roads. But then you look a little closer, and it was a dirt road. And we're like, all right. We'll follow the dirt road. Maybe it gets back onto a different path. We go on the dirt road. The dirt road changes in from a 2-lane dirt road to a 1-lane dirt road to a 1-lane dirt road that hangs off of a cliff. And the GPS just says, keep going, keep going. And you know what? We wanted this 5-star barbecue more than anything. So we just keep going, we keep going. We make it down by the river, and we just see this shack. And just a couple of cars and some benches. And we go in, and it was the best barbecue I have ever had in my entire life. This backwater barbecue had a docking station for people that were floating down the river so they could get off, eat their barbecue, and continue floating and drinking their way down the river. It was so good. But barbecue, especially at this place with the benches, it's a community feeling. It is wonderful to sit on the bench just like we are today, next to a person you have no idea who it is, and just enjoy that food.
You know me pretty well. We're on the show together.
It's so good. And it's not just the ribs or the burgers or the chicken that you eat. It becomes about the side dishes too. So at the greatest barbecue place that I ever had.
The G-Boat, greatest barbecue of all time?
It really was. The Backwater barbecue place. The best side I had was the mac and cheese and the baked beans.
Oh, mac and cheese is all time, hands down, favorite food. And there's something special about the way that barbecue places make it. Granted, the barbecue places around here, it's like, oh, this place is great for Philly area barbecue. You go down south, you said they take it very, very, very seriously.
Very seriously. And having the mac and cheese there, it was just
the
way.
Cornbread?
Oh, of course you get cornbread.
Cornbread.
And the cornbread you dip in everything. It mops off of the extra juices and sauces from your hand. It is delicious.
So what did you get from the barbecue? Did you get the chicken? Did you get ribs? I
got everything.
Everything kind of.
It was an adventure to get there. I got to sample everything.
You got to sample everything.
But the side dishes. Let's talk about some of the side dishes. The side dishes that make a barbecue. For me, it is a top list. We got the mac and cheese, and then you have the baked beans, and then the last one I would have to say is corn on the cob, which is the necessities for me.
And that transcends whether it's southern barbecue or traditional barbecue. You gotta have corn on the cob.
Oh, it's so good.
Absolutely, it's so refreshing on a nice summer day, and it goes well with each kind. And it's a must. It was hard to do as a kid with braces because I had to cut it up because they would get stuck and everywhere. But it was so good. You had to power through it.
It's so delicious, and for my corn on the cob, I now soak it in water and I cook it on the grill, so it comes off charred a little bit more.
You put some butter on it?
Oh, do I put butter? I glaze butter on that thing. When it comes off, it's still nice and warm. Slather it up with a garlic butter.
Butter then grill, or grilled then butter?
Grilled and butter. Grilled and butter.
You can grill it and.
But no, because it's gonna seep through.
That's true.
Because you don't want to fight the moisture of the corn with the moisture of the butter, because the water is going to win, and so you don't want to lose out on that butter flavor. You want maximum intensity, for me, of garlic butter flavor.
Oh, so you're a garlic butter?
I'm a garlic butter person.
Ooh.
Homemade garlic butter is where it's at. You melt down that butter, chop up that garlic, leave it in there for just a little bit, maybe throw it in the microwave for a couple more seconds just to really infuse that garlic in there. You get a brush on that corn, you peel off your corn, brush it up, put it back in, and just let it soak in.
Now, speaking of butter, one thing that butter is a necessity for is, like, if you get crab legs, I think that goes incredibly well with a traditional barbecue, because you got the burners with the burgers and the hot dogs, and you can throw some salmon on it or whatever, or you can go some chicken, some ribs, whatever, and you got the side burner. That's when you put the pot, you put some clams, some some crab legs, some shrimp. That with a little dish of butter and dipping it in there is always a favorite of mine. That is the ideal barbecue for me. But the sides, like I said, continuing on, you have to have. Were you a potato salad fan?
I'm not, but I do agree that it is a staple.
Now it's got to be homemade with the chopping up the eggs and the potatoes and the vinegar and the spices in there. Not the store-bought potato salad. You got to go homemade all the way, all day, all the way. And if you want, do you have any, like, what about like chips? Do you have any like go-to barbecue chips that you want? And don't say barbecue flavor. That doesn't count.
Chips aren't super important to me. Yes, they're a snack out there, but I'm focusing on the grill. I am the grill master when we're grilling at my house. So I want to make sure that I'm preparing all different types of foods when it comes to there. Did you have something in mind?
Jack's cheese curls. Everyone knows Jack's cheese curls are the best cheese curls. Don't at me, it's true.
Yeah, they're definitely the second best cheese curls.
They are the best. No. Respect for hers, take a seat. Jack's is number one.
No.
I just had to get that in there because of Jack's rule and others' drool. Boom.
Only at the Kupperstein house. You can see hers at other different places, including my house. But this isn't about cheese curls. This is about barbecue and then the snacks that we have. Anything else that you want to add to that barbecue list?
I will say the sides, I guess we have mac and cheese. It can go over both. Macaroni salad. My mom used to make macaroni salad with shrimp pieces in it. Incredible.
That's good.
Corn on the cob, you mentioned. Potato salad, homemade. And then the individual things that people can bring. You got some soft pretzels. You get some fruit salad as a necessity. You gotta have some drinks too, whether it be water or sodas, but then beer. Something special about barbecuing and drinking some beer or some seltzers or whatever. But the desserts too. You gotta have something good dessert. I had a dessert at a barbecue once. Shout out to Jesse if you're listening. Went to a barbecue with a friend of mine, and his parents made this thing called Death by Chocolate, which is a whole huge bowl full of layers of chocolate mousse and all kinds of Heath bar, and that is absolutely incredible. And every time we have a barbecue there, I love that. And you got pies and some water ice, some ice cream.
Go-to pie at a barbecue?
Apple.
Apple, all American. You gotta go.
Yeah, I'm pecan pie is my favorite, but I saved that for Thanksgiving time. Apple pie, blueberry pie, chocolate chip pie. Yeah. Fantastic. But you gotta have from start to finish in any good barbecue. Even some watermelon, some fresh.
That's what
salad.
you need.
You need that refreshing especially when it's hot out. But you need, in order to have a good barbecue, you have to have from start to finish between the appetizers, main dish that has to be cooked properly, and end it on a good note with a good dessert.
That was one of the first words in Russian that I had to learn was arbuz, which is watermelon, and morozhina, which is ice cream. And I learned them at barbecues so I could get my arbuz, my watermelon, and my morozhina, my ice cream, because I was set. Other food
until you learned anything else, you just had a bunch of watermelon and ice cream.
That's absolutely right. I knew I was going to be safe no matter what. But there's a lot of different delicious types of foods. But let's go about what we start cooking on the grill. Do you have any go-tos for what you cook, whether it's at home or a party? Are they different? Are they separate? What do you cook on the grill?
It's if I'm home versus parties, it's definitely different. Because when I'm home, I'll probably grill up some steaks, some grilled chicken, some grilled salmon, stuff like that for myself, my wife. But when it comes to a party, I try to stick to the traditional burgers, hot dogs, turkey burgers, veggie burgers, things that are more popular and people will eat a little bit easier to get in bulk as opposed to trying to get 15.
You're a man of the people.
I love the people and I want to give the people what they want. I love everything.
You're satisfying. You're a man of different talents. So for me, I'm a little bit more specific. I'm a selfish griller because I'm grilling year round just for myself. Sorry to my partner out there, but she does most of the cooking unless it comes to grilling, and I do all of the grilling. So that's my contribution.
I can see when it's time to grill, you grab the.
I grab my tongs. I grab my whatever it takes. If it's snowing out there, I grab a coat. I throw on my Crocs and I get out there and I start grilling. And for me, my go-to ones is I like kebabs. I'm a big fan of highly seasoned with Italian seasoning of
Oh, I love
pork
Italian
kebabs
seasoning. Oh.
with red onions, marinated overnight. Absolutely delicious. And then on top of that too, I like the shrimp kebabs where I skewer up 12 different shrimp per kebab. I'm making 5 or 6 of them at a time, maybe for myself, maybe I'll share a little bit, but those things get seasoned at that time, dry them off, and you are just ready to go, and they are delicious. Those are my go-to. I absolutely love those types of meats on the barbecue, but for me, I'm just kind of finding recipes online, throwing whatever spice mix that I do together. Do you have any go-to spice mixes for your barbecue?
The spice mix and my new grill regimen. Shout out to my co-friend Alex, not the one that co-hosted it, another Alex. Showed me how to properly grill to get the perfect grill marks and perfect grill sear. I never thought to put a little bit of oil or butter on the steaks before you grill. Really get the traps in the flavor, traps in the spices. But he got me turned on to the Montreal seasonings. I never thought to do that. You got the chicken and steak seasonings. For burgers and turkey burgers, sometimes I'll throw on a little bit of the chicken seasoning or the steak and some Old Bay. You really get that seasoned up. I never used to be much of a seasoner, and then I don't know what I was missing.
The seasoning that I've heard has become legend amongst the friends group and is really grown in popularity is Jerry's new mix.
Yeah,
he's dabbling in
Mr. JR. He, for my birthday, gave me a big thing of Jerry's rub. That's what we're branding it. It's fantastic. He is a wonderful human being and an even better griller.
You rub a little Jerry on the steaks.
Between Jerry and Alex, you know who you are. You're fantastic. We appreciate you as fellow grillers.
Yeah, I'm a little jealous. You get to rub a little Jerry on the steaks, rub a little Jerry on the chicken, put a little Jerry everywhere. And
you just ruined the whole rub for me now.
Well, you can taste it later. You know, have a little bit of Jerry in your mouth later. It should be absolutely delicious, but it's not just a rub mix and like the fine art of figuring out what is the most delicious for your taste palate, but for when you're hosting a barbecue, everyone else's taste palate. And while you're at the grill, grilling everything up and trying to make it delicious, in those big backyard bashes, the Bar-B-Kupps, what are other people doing?
They're usually playing with it. Cornhole, can jam. If there's a pool involved, some beer pong. You can get the beer pong on the table, or you get the really big barrels filled with water and a little bit oversized beer pong. Any of those kinds, get some music with some impromptu karaoke and those kind of fun activities or funtivities. And you can even end the night with a nice bonfire. Just grill up some s'mores, not grill up, but toast some s'mores.
Yeah, the barbecue is synonymous with the outdoor activities, and it is.
And if you're inside, you watch Good Burger.
Yeah, you mix it up. But the outdoor activities is where my heart is when it comes to the summer barbecue. You mentioned that fire pit. It is just so many memories come flooding back when you think about having barbecue. It gets to be 8, 9 o'clock, the sun going down, beautiful sunsets, and you're sitting around the fireplace talking to your closest friends, making s'mores, throwing wood and paper and matches all into the fire. It is just a good time. You're creating memories. Barbecue, you create the memories.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, there's something special about having a nice bonfire at the end to cap it all off. Everyone's still digesting their food, happy, almost kind of in a food daze, and this is a great way to cap off a good barbecue. Some good friends, good family, and good eats.
And it's always just a good time. And if people are still looking for a good time, Josh, where can they find Flying the Kupp?
You can find Flying the Kupp at Flying the Kupp on Instagram and Facebook, flyingthekupp.com for our news, updates, videos, podcast links, merchandise soon to come, and you can find us on YouTube and Spotify for all new episodes. Make sure you like and subscribe so that you're the first person to get access to our new videos and podcasts as they drop. And if you like it, leave a like, comment, subscribe, share. Love to hear from you. Let us know, what are your favorite foods to grill? Do you like charcoal versus gas, any kind of stories. Send us pictures of what you're grilling tonight and tag at Flying the Kupp on there. We'd love to see what you guys are cooking, if you smell what we're cooking. And if you want to find me personally, you can look for me at redcon1_Kupp on Instagram and Facebook. Michael, where can they find you?
Well, I'm Michael Bennett. They can find me at Agile Square or potential any other YouTube channel I might start.
MichaelBennettRealEstate.com soon to come as well?
Soon to come eventually. But we want to remember the good times and remember the friends and family, and that's always at the barbecues, Bar-B-Kupps, whatever it might be. But we hope you join us next time on Flying the Kupp. I am so hungry right now.
Why are we talking about food so much?
It is so delicious. All right, I'm gonna start the grill. It's propane. It's easy.
Oh, jeez, good. I was gonna say I wanted charcoal.